Check, check. Welcome into.
Yeah. Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah.
That's the one. What's up, Grant? Jerry, put on your headset and listen. Does that sound good? Like an actual crowd? Or does it sound like white noise? Welcome into the FBO. What? What? Does that sound like good crowd noise? Should we turn it down a little bit? Welcome into the FBA on YouTube and Facebook Live. Does that sound too much like white noise, or is that good, you think? Sounds good? Okay. Okay.
Crowd erupting. Was that the one that had the whistles in it?
I don't know.
I'm going to start.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Right after that, I'm coming to you guys.
Okay.
Okay, sweet.
On camera.
Okay.
Perfect.
We'll do about 30 to 45 seconds.
Okay.
On
Perfect.
camera. And then we'll toss it to the floor. So watch it off if you can.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
We'll do
Yeah.
it. We'll start
Yeah.
the game that way, right?
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
I like this one better.
Which one? Turn it up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, this is good.
And then-
You got a new player?
Well, I had to because, we lost Braylon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patson's got knee problems. This kid is young,
Okay.
like 6'4", 6'5",
Ooh.
Oh, wing guy. Oh, jumper.
through the roof.
Okay.
That's about the frame right here. Just like that. I don't want to see how you like this. I'm trying to keep that.
Welcome into the FBA. Oh, I like this. This is a good crowd noise.
And do you want to? Are you gonna ratchet it up a little bit, turn it up as it goes?
Yeah.
Like how do you see that going? Like, how do
I'll just turn it up when it gets
like,
exciting.
real quick. See how it's
Like I'll blast it.
Brandon Moss. And then what are you gonna do?
Yeah. And then Brandon Moss for the dunk.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I'll turn it back down.
You like it. You like it.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah.
This is really good.
That's Alright. Oh god. We're about to get on. Hold on. Where's my...
At Envy Labs, we build web applications that start with an idea. They move through strategy and need an outside eye ahead of wireframes and technical specifications. There's design and layout and functionality, but there's also performance, things like accessibility and data visualization. It all comes together for what ultimately is a successful launch. Over the past decade, Envy Labs has built platforms that pair things like data and sports or environmental science. We've built technical training platforms around data science and around network administration, and we've bootstrapped and sold our own product. We are a temporary CTO and an outside specialist in strategy, design, and development. It takes a lot to go from idea to launched web application, but it's all right there in our name. Reach out to hello@envylabs.com and let's take a look at your idea together.
Burgers, fries, and shakes Oviedo Mall. Best burger you'll ever eat. It's worth the drive.
Hey, what is up, everyone? My name is Susie, and I'm a full-time partner streamer on Twitch.tv. I've made it my mission to help gamers win in every area of life. So whether it's helping you win in gaming by teaching the latest tips and tricks on whatever games you might be playing, helping you win in fitness through my daily fitness streams, or even just helping you win in your week, we're building genuine community, and we've got a place just for you. So I want to encourage you right now to follow me over at twitch.tv/SusieLive. I stream Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and we hope to see some of you soon.
Welcome in to a beautiful Sunday afternoon and evening. Jesse O alongside Alvin Delvey, and we have the Florida Basketball Association Game of the Week. It is the reigning champion FBA Florida Flight versus the incoming and expansion team Brevard Bobcats, two of the best offensive teams in the league. And Alvin, I want to bring you in here for this. Brandon Moss versus Jace Hogan, the #1 and #2 leading scorer in the FBA respectively. How good are they going to be for their teams this game?
It does not get better than this at all. We have two of the top scorers in this league, both averaging above 30 points a game, and they both average a double-double with 17 rebounds as well. And we have Brandon Moss, who can facilitate and do a lot of things. So it's going to be a hard-fought battle throughout the entire game. We're going to watch greatness tonight. It's going to be a good one.
So I have to ask you, the tale of these two teams is obviously their offenses. They have pretty similar styles of play. Both are shooting 43% from the field, shooting over 30% from beyond the arc, and shoot very well from the free throw line. But the defenses for both of these teams are really going to have to step up. You have the Brevard Bobcats with Shaq Seville down low alongside Trey Thompson. They're combining for at least 5 blocks a game right now, and as many steals as well. So how big are those guys going to have to step up in order to stop this high-powered Florida Flight offense, who now has Grant Gullett back, who was out for a little bit with back sprains?
This is definitely going to be a shootout, but it's going to be a tale of who can take care of the basketball. On one side, the Brevard Bobcats, they forced 20 turnovers in their last game. McKay led the way with 5 steals, and Jace Hogan had 4 as well, and they have a plethora of different guys who poured in 2 steals as well. So it's going to be who can control the pace and who can push the ball offensively and really take advantage of the transition offense.
So interestingly enough, on the Florida Flight side right now, I don't see their leading scorer, Brandon Moss, on the side. So Coach King is going to have to come up with something. Brandon Moss is now the 2-time FBA Player of the Week, coming off a 57-point, 25-rebound with 7 steals and 4 blocks last weekend. And he was looking to eat this team alive today, but he's not on Coach King's bench. So What do you think Coach King goes with here?
Definitely going to have to find a way to make up for those points because he does a lot for them offensively and defensively. He brought in 7 steals and brought in 4 blocks as well last week. So now he's going to have to find a way with some new guys, go down that bench and really utilize his coaching prowess because he does a great job coaching his guys, making sure they're all ready to play. And now this is their chance. Next man up, who's going to make that big play? Who's going to be the one to stop Jace Hogan and really match his intensity? You're going to need your guys like Elliot Glegg. You're going to need Alfred to pour in a lot. And you're going to need a lot to go on offensively just to make up for what they're missing with Brandon Moss.
Tip-off presented by Poly Wealth Management as we go down on the floor and look at our starting lineup. Center court, it's Grant Gullett against Shaq Seville. Jace Hogan will round things out on the floor, as well as Lucius McKay, Darius Clark, and Trey Thompson for the Brevard Bobcats. And in for the Florida Flight, Adam Waldo will get the start in the place of the missing Brandon Moss. Grant Gullett at center court. Far side is Elliot Glegg back to receive. The tip-off is Terrell Alfred, and up front is Caleb Winfrey as the Flight win the toss. And the Saturday night game of the week is underway. Elliot Glegg on the left side, the bounce pass, and a kick ball off of the Brevard Bobcats. So a lot of guys now are going to have to find their stroke with the missing Brandon Moss out of the game here. But Terrell Alfred needs to start catching fire this game. He shot very poorly last game, Alvin, and he's looking to have a big one as he goes forward here. Grant Gullett now down low, right corner. Alfred first shot of the game, and that's an air ball. And Coach King is going to have to find something on that one as the ball is tapped out of bounds by the Bobcats.
Well, I'm not too worried about Terrell Alfred. He was a 4-time All-Conference in college. He poured in about 100 threes back then. So definitely he's a shooter. He just needs to see one fall down, maybe get into a lane and see a mid-range jumper fall. But I'm not too worried about them. Offensively, they're going to be okay. They move the ball well. Let's see what they can do with this possession.
Cross court pass to Winfrey, left side. He's got Gullett down low. And so Gullett went down in their first game of the season against the Gainesville Mighty Oaks. And now he's back in. He was the co-MVP of this Florida Flight team last year, and you can see why as he gets the Flight on the board for the first time this game. 2-0 ball game on the back of Grant Gullett.
Wow, you just love seeing that. A familiar face making a very familiar shot. Grant Gullett doing it all early. Great job.
So a timeout taken on the floor by Coach M.J. Miller, who is the youngest head coach and owner in the Florida Basketball Association, and he wants to build Brevard's signature team. He wants it to be the best team that the Brevard County has ever seen. We're going to take a break real quick from our broadcast. As always, this is the FBA on YouTube and Facebook Live, presented by Poly Wealth Management.
World where one girl goes on endless adventures, gives you unbelievable toy unboxings, does insane food challenges, and plays way too much Roblox. It's Elle's Adventures. Subscribe now. Do it. Why not?
Back here on the floor, Brandon Moss has entered the building, so we'll see him in the game in just a sec. But it's the Bobcats' ball as they inbound from the right side of the basket. Now up top, Lucius McKay running the offense for this Brevard Bobcat team. Dribbles down low, pass out to Clark. A quick move over to the left side. Thompson can't beat the shot clock. And look for that good Florida Flight defense all day. It's a defensive mastermind between Gullett and Winfrey down low, creating the stop. And here comes Terrell Alfred on the other side. Pass left, Elliot Glegg, a pump fake. Now dribble over to the left side. Adam Waldo down low, double teamed by Seville and Hogan. Good defense there. Alfred into Gullett, back up top. Elliot Glegg, a pump fake. Now a little floater, no good. Waldo getting big, down low, makes the left-handed layup. Adam Waldo with his first 2 points of the season, Alvin.
That's just a great job by Waldo, being in the right place at the right time, being very aggressive on the offensive board and putting it back up.
Seville can't get that one to fall. And now here's Gullett going the other direction. Alfred. Winfrey, a great take down low to the rim.
Jesse, we've been seeing a lot more from Winfrey these past couple games. Last game, he just erupted. And right there, you see him do a nice drive step, get to the lane, finger roll, kissing it in, getting his first points of the game.
A 6-0 ball game. Good defense by Alfred on McKay out beyond the arc, and Thompson fouled as he dribbles in.
And right there, you're seeing Alfred be very aggressive. You hate to see that, just, you know, a quick early foul, but it's okay. It's the first one. Great defense. When you're playing good defense, you're going to get 3 at least. You got 3. And he just used his first one up, letting them know he's here to play. Let's see if he could play it with a little less hands this possession.
That is Alfred's first personal foul of the ball game, now 1 on the Florida flight. Clark dribbling left side. Gullett doing a great job of picking him from behind. Gullett will pull up right wing. And a foul down low. Make that Glegg, who was shooting the ball, and Gullett pulled down the rebound.
Wow.
Glegg and Gullett, 2 Gs.
2 Gs. But don't you just miss the presence of Grant Gullett? Right there, we see him get another possession and use that frame of his to force up another shot and get to the free throw line. He is very involved early in this game. You see him utilize that free throw extended jump shot early, getting into a seam, and right there you see him use his muscle, use that power as he knocks down his first free throw. He has a nice touch to him, to his jump shot, nice little form, nice flick of the wrist. But that's his play style. He complements this team very well, and he was a presence well missed by this flight offense.
So Adam Waldo checking out of the ball game now for Brandon Moss, who steps back in, and he is presumably one of the 2 that could be nominated as player of the week for last week's game, says Gullett misses that shot. Adam Waldo checking out. He's the big man that Coach King will bring in for hard fouls when he needs to, but Waldo sits down on the bench with some high energy, and he's the big energy guy off the bench. Hogan fouled as he tried to float that one up.
That's going to be how this game goes. You're going to see on one end the premier shooters and stars for this flight offense, Brandon Moss, Elliott Glegg, Winfrey, Alfred, and Gullett. One of those guys are going to pop on one end, and then right back on the other end, you're going to see Jace, Hogan, and Cass force up some shots and get to the line, because that's what they do best. And they also shoot very well from the free throw line as he knocks down that first one, staying true to his free throw percentage.
So like Alvin said, 78% from the free throw line, averaging 34 points per game, upwards of 34 points per game at that. And he misses the second one, and Moss pulls down the rebound. So already in the stat sheet with 1 for Brandon Moss, and that pass flies right by Moss trying to cut into the lane.
On that possession, it's just a little mishap, a little miscommunication, a little off on chemistry. But get this, they haven't played in a month together. They only played together since their first week, the first opening game of the season.
Moss blocks Seville down low, and Alfred going the other direction. Dribbling right, Caleb Winfrey spinning. Gullett, Moss, 1 dribble, left corner 3. And that's off the mark. Seville pulls down the rebound, and McKay looking ahead and will slow things down now.
That's what you want. Ball movement on the transition offense, just wasn't able to get that shot to fall.
Trey Thompson off to the right, and Brandon Moss with his second rebound of the ball game.
He's coming off a 17-point rebound game last week.
Moss the rebound, down low, out to Alfred, and good ball movement by the flight. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Winfrey, right wing 3, and he hits.
That's what you love about this flight offense. They know how to move the ball around the horn, and they won't put a shot up unless it's a good one. Winfrey being on the beneficiary of a great offensive possession, knocking down the tray ball. Great shot by Winfrey, knocking in 5 so far.
Hogan. Thompson gives it up to Hogan, and Hogan can't convert from that left block. He loves that area down low, and he exceeds when he's able to shoot from that spot, and Winfrey a little strong on that one.
This is interesting because Brevard relies on offensive rebounds to really get their offense going. They get second chance opportunities, as you see right there. A third chance opportunity at the bucket.
Seville down low, making the shot from the right block.
So these two teams is a force to reckon with.
Brandon Moss trying to take it coast to coast, and just a little strong. Glegg the 3 on the get back, no good, and McKay going the other direction. Being chased down by Glegg. Pulls out. Hogan, right wing 3, good! He shoots kind of a laser at the basket, not much arc under his shot.
But it rattles home, giving them a tray ball and taking the lid off the basket, because that was a little sloppy play on both ends. But Jace Hogan able to knock home a big tray, giving them bringing them within 4.
10-6 the score. Flight up. Gullet. Good ball movement there. Alfred. Corner 3 wide open for Winfrey. And he did get it off in time, but it bounced over the back before it went in. So
he definitely has the shooter's touch.
Yeah.
So look for them to continue utilizing that corner shot, because they've gotten it on both ends with Brandon Moss on that transition offense earlier a couple plays ago. And now you see Winfrey, he shot a few of those from that same corner. So Coach King is doing a great job of getting great looks offensively.
That's some Jerry touch right there.
Jerry.
Moss throwing it ahead to Alfred. Alfred off the back, and Moss jamming that one home.
This is why you watch Florida Flight play basketball. They're very unselfish, and they do a great job in transition, getting highlight plays like we just saw. Off the backboard, Brandon Moss with the tomahawk. Great job by the Flight, getting some excitement early in this game.
So Moss's first 2 points, his team's back up by 6. Seville down low, spinning it on Winfrey, and Gullet with a block. Grant Gullet coming off back spasms, and he's doing everything on both sides of the floor so far.
We have no idea he came off back spasms. Look how high he jumped on that possession, banging with the big fella Seville, and we know what he does offensively. They're doing a great job defensively and had a stout possession right there.
Hogan took that one away from Moss. Clark down low, and Moss is going to tip that one around. Throws it ahead. And Moss, he tried another one-hander off the backboard. And a great pass to Glegg. Left wing 3. Good! And a timeout taken on the floor. Elliot Glegg hits a big 3. 15-6 the score. The Flight go into the timeout break leading by 9.
Hey, what is up, everyone? My name is Susie, and I'm a full-time partner and streamer on Twitch.tv. I've made it my mission to help gamers win in every area of life. So whether it's helping you win in gaming by teaching the latest tips and tricks on whatever games you might be playing, helping you win in fitness through my daily fitness streams, or even just helping you win in your week, we're building genuine community, and we've got a place just for you. So I want to encourage you right now to follow me over at twitch.tv/SusieLive. I stream Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and we hope to see some of you soon.
And on that last possession, we just saw a flurry of offense by the Florida Flight. And even when an alley-oop attempt doesn't work, you see great ball movement. Elliot Glegg knocking down a tray ball. They are rolling right now. Brevard Bobcats have to find a way to stop the force, stop the bleeding, and put some points on the board. Let's see what they can do with this possession.
McKay tried to take it all the way, and Gullet grabbed the rebound. Alfred tried to throw it down to Moss, but he ended up throwing it right on top of the hoop. Thompson, other side. Glegg fouls Trey Thompson down low, and Thompson goes to the line to shoot his first 2.
Trey Thompson does a great job offensively for Brevard. And fun fact, he was 3 times first team all-conference, 2 times All-American, so he knows how to handle pressure. He knows how to get involved even when the shot's not falling, and he is very okay and very comfortable taking a bigger role offensively for this team. They only have 6 points so far in the first as he misses that first free throw, but look for him to get himself more involved, to get his teammates more involved. He's a great offensive player. He knows how to get the ball in the hoop.
Thompson, a bully, going towards the basket down low and great at finishing. He did get fouled on the last possession, but a big tribute to how good of hands that this guy has as he misses the second one. So going the other direction now, the Flight up by 9 points. Alfred straight away. Can't get that one to fall. Look at Gullet down low. Gullet with the reverse. And it's a team up between him and Moss, the co-MVPs of last year's Flight's team, tipping that one in. And I guess they'll attribute that basket to Brandon Moss.
That's why both of those got looks in the G League and in the NBA.
Shot left side, hit. by Jace Hogan.
They both know how to attack the offensive board, and they fight aggressively for second possessions. As he takes the ball up the court, just you know what they bring to the table, and they're going to do it night in and night out. We're watching it right now, this game.
Alfred, left corner, fights over that screen. Now Winfrey straight away. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Moss has got to get this one to the rim.
That's a great possession, defensive possession by the Bobcats, just forcing him baseline, and he didn't realize where he was, stepped out of bounds, and now they have a chance to get another opportunity and see if they could break double digits in this game.
McKay over to the right side of Thompson. And now back up top to McKay. Lucius McKay getting one of his first starts of the season today. He's done a great job of pushing the offense, and he can lead that dominant role up top. Seville taken out of bounds by Moss.
And that's a good job by Moss. He's a little taller than Seville, but he's down about 50 or 60 pounds if you see. Big Shaq down low, banging with him. And Brandon Moss has the IQ to reach around and strip that ball. And right now they're fighting for another possession with 11 seconds on the shot clock.
Waldo checking in the game for Gullett. They got to watch his minutes so far in this game, but Grant Gullett doing a great job. He was the co-MVP last year with Brandon Moss, and he was out with back spasms since he took a hard fall at Gainesville. But now he's back and feeling better than ever is what he said. Down low. Dean hits that one home.
And just speaking about Grant Gullett, he's a great guy, stand-up guy, and he just worked his tail off coming back in rehab, and now you see him playing great basketball. That's just a great job, and that just shows you the type of man he is.
Alfred fighting around Clark, out to Dickerson. Trevell Dickerson in the game now for his first time, taken away by McKay. Ahead to Hogan, and Hogan throwing it down. Jace Hogan with 8 points.
Defense turning into offense. McKay doing what he does best. He's coming off of 5 steals, and right there you see why. Great job by McKay pushing it to Jace, and Jace finishing it strong on the other end.
Dickerson a pump fake. Glegg big on the 3. It's an 8-point game.
Elliot Glegg makes his shots when it matters. Ball moving around the horn. Elliot Glegg does a great job by knocking it home.
Dean misses the mid-range. Thompson down low, blocked by Waldo. Thompson going around Waldo. He ran on a full circle around him. And Brandon Moss pulled down the rebound.
Look at Waldo. He's a very strong guy. I understand why he ran away from that one.
Moss, right side. Terrell Alfred's got to start hitting. And hit he does.
Great job by Alfred. He knocked in 100+ three-pointers in his college career. Right there we saw why. Nice corner shot to get your rhythm. Great job by Alfred, taking advantage of what they gave him.
Terrell Alfred went into that free throw shooting 23% from beyond the arc. Hogan trying to fight down low and couldn't get that one to fall. Alfred, right side, Glegg, a pump fake. And now sets up his own 3 and hits! Elliot Glegg is on fire. He's got 6 points, and his team is up by 14.
When it rains, it pours with the Florida Flight. We just saw 3 trifectas. Great job by the Flight, taking advantage of the tray ball.
Sherrod Dean, left corner.
Jesse, we are going to witness a shootout. It is an 11-point game, and the Bobcats aren't going anywhere.
Dickerson, a 3. And the rebound by Trey Thompson. Thompson's so good on defense as well. Don't just count him out for only his offense. McKay taking it all the way to the basket. He's great at pushing the offense, and you can see why there. McKay with his first 2 points in the game. It's a 9-point ball game. The Flight are still up 26-17. 1 minute and 35 seconds left to go in the first. Stay tuned. We have a 2-time NBA champion joining us on the broadcast in a couple of minutes. A step in front of the free throw stripe. Elliot Glegg now with 8 points. He's hot.
That's a great job by Elliot, moving without the ball, getting deep into the lane, and a good look to get him the ball. Nice shot, knocking it home by Elliot Glegg.
Moss throwing it right corner. Glegg into Waldo. Waldo throwing it up, and Dickerson the finish with the left hand.
That was a nice lob by Waldo. He actually, a fun fact, he was inducted to his university's Hall of Fame.
Glegg the steal, and Glegg the baseline mid-range jumper. Elliot Glegg coming alive. This guy is a traditional point guard, but he likes to get the ball in everyone's hands, and he can sharpshoot it with the best of them. Rebound goes to Dean, who throws it into McKay. Left wing three, and off the mark, Hogan, the putback. And Jace Hogan now with 10 points.
That's what Jace Hogan does so well, just fighting for extra buckets. That's where he gets his bread and butter, doing a great job.
Brandon Moss throwing it down. 34-19 the score, and the Flight are up big.
He can go up high and grab it. He could go down low and grab it. And once he grabs it, clear the runways. Brandon Moss doing what he does.
McKay. That one just rims out. McKay the rebound. McKay the second chance. And the same result. Hogan from the left block, and he loves shooting it from there. Jace Hogan with 12 points now in the ball game.
Well, if you look at Jace's frame, it makes sense why he can eat so well from the block. He does a great job.
Brandon Moss, long three, off the left side. And that's 1 quarter of action done. A 13-point game, 34-21, just after the first quarter. And man, this Florida Flight team has missed Grant Gullett's presence. More basketball to come in just a sec on this Saturday FBA Classic.
At Envy Labs, we build web applications that start with an idea. They move through strategy and need an outside eye ahead of wireframes and technical specifications. There's design and layout and functionality, but there's also performance, things like accessibility and data visualization. It all comes together for what ultimately is a successful launch. Over the past decade, Envy Labs has built platforms that pair things like data in sports or environmental science. We've built technical training platforms around data science and around network administration, and we've bootstrapped and sold our own product. We are a temporary CTO and an outside specialist in strategy, design, and development. It takes a lot to go from idea to launched web application, but it's all right there in our name. Reach out to hello@envylabs.com and let's take a look at your idea together.
Time for the second quarter of action. A 34-21 ball game. Alvin, good first quarter for the Florida Flight.
Definitely. They just got everything they wanted. And the Brevard they do a great job defensively, but this is so much for them to handle. You have Grant Gullett back, which changes everything.
Jace Hogan rimmed that one out. And Terry Cleveland in the ball game now. And he's a sharpshooter from beyond the arc. In the majority of the shots, he takes R3s. He's got a high arcing shot.
He has high hopes for the future. He has some big dreams that Terrell Alfred bangs down the trifecta once again. He is doing way better from the stripe, from behind the arc as he's
Dean, the other side with the response.
And that's just great basketball we're seeing right here. We're seeing on one end a trifecta, and immediately 2 seconds into the shot clock, the other side shoots one again. Great game so far. Even though they're down 13, they have a lot of fight in them.
Alfred left side to Dickerson. Dickerson a few dribbles in. Alfred, another three, right wing, off the mark. But Terrell Alfred coming in, who's on his college all-decade team. He was cold last game, but Coach King says he hasn't gotten to see Alfred's best yet as Clark is fouled. But Terry Cleveland in the game, one might say he's cooking up greatness.
Terry Cleveland just does it all. He knows how to get on the court, and just really, he has a nice shot. It gets real high in the air, drops it home, does a great job when he's in. Good role player for the Flight. Does a great job.
Clark from the line gets that one to bounce in. Good shooter's touch. Oh, we're having fun on
It's always
a beautiful
fun.
Saturday afternoon, Alvin. Saturday evening, actually.
Sun is still shining. We're inside a gym.
We're inside. As Clark hits both of his free throws home, 37-26 game. The Florida Flight still up by 11. Up far side, Dickerson, few dribbles in, up over Hogan, and he makes the shot. Terrell Dickerson with 4 points.
And Dickerson just comes on the court. He knows exactly what to do with, despite his age. He's the youngest on the flight.
A block down low by Moss, but they'll call a goaltending.
Brandon Moss just elevates on his shots, on his shot blocking attempts. And right there we see him just rise up just a little too late. The ball is descending.
Yeah.
That's where the call came in. 2 points for Bavard, but great hustle by Brandon Moss.
What do you think about Moss's vertical? Ball stolen away by Hogan.
That was a good battle in the post.
Clark underneath, and a travel call. It's a good call by the officials. Our officials today, Crew Chief Curtis Bowen, wearing number 37 right in front of us at the scorer's table. Patrick Kurz wearing number 10. He will be the crew chief for the game tomorrow at 3 o'clock, so stay tuned for that. And Mike Rivera, as always, joins us wearing number 34, all with professional experience, have done high school championships, college championships, and games as well, and have been officiating for quite a few years, and only the best here in the FBA. An 11-point game. Moss with the rock in his hands, spinning. Right corner, Travell, a pump fake, and stepped out of bounds on the sideline.
Just got a little excited, good up fake, wanted to get to his spot, but just stepped out of bounds on his when he initiated his move. But on that last possession, you just love to see it. You see the two scoring leaders guarding each other in the post. They're following each other. They're doing a great job just battling it out. And we're going to see who gets the advantage. Right now, it seems Brandon Moss is doing his thing. However, Jace Hogan is no slouch. He's balling on the block. Let's see who can get their team to do more. Who can be that spark for their guys coming down the stretch.
Hogan switching up his dribble from the left block. Loves that shot down low. Jace Hogan excels down on that left block, and he's a dominant offensive force in this league. Glegg, other side, can't get that one to fall, and the ball going the other direction.
Just look at him go on both sides of the court. He goes and just very patient on offense, scores it, comes back, gets the board, and pushes it and facilitates.
Trey Thompson running right around Adam Waldo, and an offensive foul on Thompson.
So on the flight, we have arguably the youngest on the team with Travell Dickerson, and then we have arguably the oldest on the team with Waldo. That dynamic in the locker room must be very interesting. You have Waldo, a veteran guy. He's in the Hall of Fame for his university, which is unreal. And he has his perspectives that he can teach these guys different things. And you have Dickerson coming in, who's, he's young, he's fresh out of high school, just trying to learn the game. And you have everyone in between, just a blend of characters. This Florida Flight team is very interesting.
Gullett, the step back on Thompson. Hendricks on Glegg, and now passes ahead. Here's Hogan. Couple dribbles, left side. Tipped from the back by Glegg. Look at Elliot Glegg getting back, the small guy playing big.
Elliot Glegg has just erupted defensively. You see him get a steal in the first quarter and turns that into a bucket. And right there you see him hustle, just running his tail off, and gets a block on the big fella. And Brandon Moss does the exact same thing, getting a block on that jump shot and pushing the pace.
Brandon Moss tried to throw it down. That would have ended somebody's life. And, thank heavens he did not do that.
He is
He's
trying.
fouled, goes to the line and shoots two.
He is trying hard to make a play. Great job by Brandon Moss, just getting a block, getting the board, pushing the pace. He misses the first one, but he does a good job from the line. He's typically making them in at about half, 55% from the line, which it needs a little bit of work, but he splits them there, staying true to his free throw percentage, but he does so much offensively and defensively, as we just saw in that last possession.
Winning the scoring battle between Jace Hogan and Brandon Moss as of now is Hogan. He's got 14 in the game. Down low, shot missed by Byron Thompson Jr., and the putback is good. And again, Thompson to the line.
That's what you love about Trey Thompson's game, because he can mix it up. He can shoot outside. He can put the ball on the floor. But then right there, as we just saw, he's aggressive. He has an offensive mind, and he has basically a football demeanor where he wants to get in there, battle with the big fellas, throw his weight around, and we see him battle with Waldo and gets the N1, and he converts on his free throw attempt. Great job by Thompson.
Trey Thompson, now all three of his points came on that basket. Flight by 7. with a little over 8 minutes to play in the second. Gullett, nice take down low.
Don't you miss him? Great job by Gullett, slicing and dicing, finishing up top and getting 2. Great job by Grant Gullett once again.
Hendricks wanted the long 3, and Glegg the rebound going the other direction. Glegg slowing down, right side, and Terry Cleveland with a foot on the line shoots it just strong. Hendricks the rebound going the other way. 9-point ball game. Hogan, right block, up with the right hand. No good, and a fight for the rebound between Thompson, but Gullett touched it last.
And that was on one end with Cleveland's high arcing shot. Dean was able to close out and just force him to push it a little strong, and that just ignited that transition. Jace just wasn't able to finish, but they get another possession.
Thompson Jr. and Winfrey the rebound. Winfrey going forward through Hogan, right side. Cleveland out to Moss. Moss lining it up and just short on 3. Brandon Moss this season shooting 36% from beyond the arc. Hogan down low, fouled, and the ball gets stuck. And Gullett thought he got a finger or 2 on the ball.
Definitely, that's just a good fight for it. Grant Gullett just really does a great job on that block. Right there you see just a little contact that the refs saw. Refs have the hardest job on the court, really, because they have to see things that people aren't really paying attention to. Every bump, they have to maintain the game, they have to manage it, and they can't really let it get too out of hand. So just a good safe call right there. Grant Gullett pleading his case, though.
And you can't discredit a guy for trying.
He has to try at least one. Jace Hogan knocking it home, letting him know the ball doesn't lie, so it was a foul, in fact. But Grant Gullett, man, oh man, he came in off of back spasms, and right now he's just playing lights out.
Second one is up and good. And Jace Hogan now with 16 points in the ball game. Gullett the other direction, running with a 7-point lead, and he'll go straight away. Thompson Jr. the rebound. Thompson, other side, being chased down by Cleveland. Under the basket, Thompson couldn't get that one to fall. Hendricks, one dribble, and the rebound by Gullett.
Just glass eating. Great job elevating over the rest to get that board.
Glegg can't fire on the 3. Grant Gullett had 9 rebounds in their first game. He was 1 rebound away from a double-double at 29 points in that game against Gainesville. Thompson Jr. with the reverse down low.
Wow, that was beautiful. He sees the bigger Grant Gullett coming in to just send his shot, brings it all the way down, cradles it, gets to the other side, flips it in. Great reverse by Thompson, doing what he does.
Winfrey, one step back from the left elbow, and Moss the rebound. Moss against Hogan. This is the matchup we wanted. Here's this 2-3 zone that we've been accustomed to seeing for the Bobcats, and Moss fighting in and fouled.
And that was an interesting thing right there, because we know Brandon Moss, he can shoot the rock well, but he is most dynamic when he's attacking with the head of steam to the basket. And on that possession, we see the lane behind him kind of clear out, so they're really trusting Jace Hogan's defense, and he did a great job, just fouled him at the end, but Brandon Moss did get all the way to the paint. So that's going to be interesting to see how they manage that slicing action by Brandon Moss, because you don't want to corral too much because they have elite shooters on the edge, and that's why this Florida flight offense is so overpowered, really.
And I think you would rather see Moss go to the line. You don't want to give him any easy baskets. That's why you have Trey Thompson and Shaq Seville down low. You draw them in on that zone defense that they're accustomed to playing, and you're not going to give Moss any easy baskets down low. Keep him out beyond the arc. Yes, he can hit those shots with the best of them, but at least if he tries to drive in, it's a foul, and you make him shoot free throws rather than giving him an easy bucket.
Definitely.
And he misses the pair.
But Grant Gullett just dominant on that block, getting the rebound between 2 defensive players.
Moss straight away, and Hendricks the rebound. 42-37 the score in the game. Under 6 minutes left to play. Nesmith going up with the reverse. Brought that all the way up and down and threw it in the cup.
As soon as he gets in, immediately made an impact. Great job by Nesmith, knowing his role and playing it well.
Hendricks, a shifty guard that has good defensive upside and creates turnovers, but now can go down low as well. Alfred on the other side with the big three.
That's his third three of the game so far. Last week, he wasn't able to hit more than one, and now he hits two in the same quarter as Seville blows the layup, which really hurts them because Flight's going to come on this side and probably get another bucket.
Alfred another three, and that one jumps around. And Shaq Seville pulling down a big rebound. The big fella in the game and a foul. That one will go on Brandon Moss.
And this is going to be interesting because Seville has checked in the game. Big Shaq Diesel on that block. And now you have Grant Gullett who can bang with him, but he is giving up a few inches. So how is Shaq going to respond? Are they going to get him involved early? Are they going to run him off the pick and roll? What are they going to do to make sure Shaq gets involved early? Because he is one of their dominant guys offensively and defensively. You need him activated and ready to go.
Under 5 minutes left in the second. Thompson saw a lane and took advantage of it.
Split like the Red Sea, and he recognized it, getting all the way to the lane for a nice, pretty finger roll. Great job.
Flight by 4. So man defense now for the Brevard Bobcats. Shaq Seville will step up on Alfred. Alfred sees the mismatch, takes a few steps back, and now will try to drill the three.
That's great defense by Shaq, staying home on that possession.
Hogan knowing that he needed to go under, and an offensive foul. Wow.
Very interesting call on that one. Jace Hogan was able to slice to the lane, but got a little too much contact on that last one.
And a timeout taken on the floor with under 4.5 minutes left to play. It's a 4-point ball game. The Bobcats trailing by 4, but they've been making up this deficit and closing the gap of the Flight's lead.
OMW, on my way to you. Good at what I do. I'm OMW. OMW, on my way to you. Good at what I do. I'm OMW. On my way, on my way. OMW, on my way to you. Good at what I do. I'm OMW.
We are graced with the presence with under 5 minutes left to play in the second of a two-time NBA champ, and he happens to be the FBA commissioner, Mr. Greg Kite. Commissioner, thank you for joining us. It's so good to have you on, and it's great to see you. Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, great to be here, Jesse.
So, I have a few questions for you. Two of the best teams in the FBA, two offensive firepowers. What are you liking about both of their games so far?
Well, the Bobcats got off to a slow start, but I've liked the way that they've hung in there and fought back. They didn't let the Flight stretch it out on them. They're right back in the ball game now. The Flight may have a little bit more firepower with shooting and the athleticism. Brandon Moss, Gullett, but Bobcats are hanging tough. Looks like a great game.
Moss up top, crossover dribble into the lane, goes up, his own rebound, fouled, and makes the shot. Brandon Moss, so good down low. And, I've watched a few of, your games. And does he remind you of yourself a little bit?
Brandon Moss?
Yeah.
We both wore gym shoes, basketball shoes, and we sweated when we played, and wore socks and uniform. Brandon's a little bit lean. Well, I was lean and mean when I was playing, but Brandon's very mobile, got a lot of great lift, explosive player, definitely.
Yeah.
So I was a little different.
You're an FBA commissioner. You take pride in our league. I want to kind of get your take on what you're seeing this year compared to all the other years in the past. Are you liking what you're seeing so far from not just the competition, but we've taken steps and added broadcasts to our games and a few expansion teams as well, as Hogan gets a steal there?
Absolutely. We're taking steps forward. We have every year, but we're basically in our 10th year now with the FBA, and the talent level, the quality of coaching, quality of play, the awesome broadcast team that we have. That's been our goal all along, is to take small steps and to become a more and more league that's more professional in all that we do and puts out an exciting product. And I think we're doing that. We're only going to see more and more of that here in the future.
And I do have to ask you, basketball is not just all about the basketball, it's about the people involved. And, Brandon Moss, a takedown low to the rim, looking nice there. But for you at least, you have Poly Wealth Management. How's all that going? I know people hear me say this is the FBA on YouTube and Facebook Live presented by Poly Wealth Management. And I did a little, insert there. Yeah. But Poly Wealth Management, how's all that going?
Well, that's great, yes. We're honored to be one of the sponsors of the league this year. I've been in the industry about 15 years. I'm a investment advisor, and we do financial planning for individuals and businesses, and we're really excited about our model with what we're doing, good things we're doing with people to help them plan and make a better financial future for themselves.
Absolutely. Will we be seeing more of you throughout the season here?
I will be. I'll be here at some of the games, yes. Wish I could make all of them, but I got a great live stream or recorded broadcast get on if I can't.
It's always fun to have you on the broadcast, too. Yeah. It's always fun chopping it up. With the FBA Commissioner, Greg Kite, if you're just joining us, he's graced us with his presence, and he'll be around a lot more as Brandon Moss sinks that one. And, Greg, one last question for you here. Obviously, you started with the Florida Flight, correct? You started the league with Mark in the Florida Flight. Is that
actually,
true?
11 years ago, before the FBA, Mark had the Florida Flight where we were playing. I was the general manager of his team. We played down in Kissimmee, Florida, and we were playing in another league. It doesn't exist anymore, the WBL or something like that. And, and one of the things that we found and discovered was that a lot of these minor leagues tried to make the season long, and also the distances between the teams was far apart. We had teams coming from Atlanta and Tennessee and Mississippi, and they didn't always make it through the season. So this model of having teams within a few hours of each other in Florida in this spring-summer season that we traditionally played has been really a smart move. It's worked, and we've been able to have a championship game every season, complete them, have teams that last, and some teams have been with us, some people have been with us the whole time. So that experience that we had when we started, years ago, and Mark had some minor league pro basketball experience before that, but it's kind of his genius with a little advice and encouragement from me and some others to create this model, and it's working. It's got staying power.
It definitely has some sustaining power. The Flight are up by 10. Left wing, McKay on Alfred, dribbling left. Commissioner, I have one more question for you. Of all these guys that are on the floor right now, as Jace Hogan sinks the second one, obviously you could talk about Brandon Moss, you could talk about Jace Hogan, but which guy on the floor right now do you think is going to have a big season as McKay drills the three there?
He's going to have a big season.
Yeah, who do you think is going to step up for their team here, besides, the obvious choices of Brandon Moss, Jace Hogan?
Yeah, they're all, nobody quite matches the firepower that those two guys, Hogan and Moss, bring out here. But they've got some good guys that fill some good roles, and Dean came in off the bench for the Bobcats. And good lift, help get back in the game. And Gullet is a solid 1-2 punch with Moss, and then the Flight have some shooters. Those guys take care of the ball, move the ball well, and hit the open shots. So
Glegg
who's going to make the All-Star team? I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's what the game's all about. Sometimes you got one or two guys that are the focal point of your offense and your defense, and the other guys can be a great support cast, and both these teams look to have that.
Are you coaching at all?
I do. I help coach at Pathways, the Pathways Eagles boys high school team. We have a private school in South Orlando. My wife and I helped to get it started about 25 years ago, and they just had a high school grades 5 years ago, so I helped them to kick off get the high school sports started. We're actually playing in the summer league right now during June, and doing well. Had a real good season last year.
And are you gonna keep coaching next year too? Building the program?
Yeah, I'll stay involved. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we've got other people in place to make it work now. I was for a year or so I was doing most of it myself, and now we got an athletic director and a head coach. Well, I'm not the head coach, and another assistant coach, and we've got a middle school coach. So it's working. We're building a program. We have girls volleyball, girls basketball, flag football. The kids love flag football.
Oh yeah, I used to love flag football. Alvin, you ever play flag football?
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. It's awesome.
That's the only football my mom would let me play.
Really?
Yeah, she said she'd, quote, shoot me in the foot if I played football in high school. So didn't get that opportunity. Commissioner, would you coach an FBA team if given the opportunity?
I don't know if they could afford me.
Oh, yeah.
The price is high when you play with the Celtics.
It would definitely be fun. I love coaching. I love teaching. It's a huge time commitment. So it's just a matter of you can't do everything, and so with just doing what I do already takes up a lot of bandwidth. So hey, but if Mark needed me in a crunch, I could.
You could do it.
Make a guest appearance.
Would you ever come out on the floor as Glig hits a big three in the right corner? Would you ever throw on a jersey again?
Like an ancient guy like Adam Waldo?
I would say ancient, experienced.
I used to play in the Grinches.
The Grinches versus the Flight?
The Flight game, yeah. But I don't know. I got to give that up to every time I play, my friend Arthur wants to hang out with me. Arthritis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and he's around for a long time. So, no, I love playing. I actually used to play in some Masters tournaments and senior tournaments, which is where Waldo ought to be for off-season training. But,
is he friends with Arthur too? Please keep him away from me as long as you can.
WD-40 in his knees. He's in great shape. But I love playing. But yeah, about 18 years ago, just a little too much weight, which I've gotten a little bit better at that, and just a lot of wear and tear on these knees and back and ankles. So it's tough to get up and down, and your mind says you can do this one thing, and your body says you can't. So.
Well, it's so great to have you with us, Commissioner. As we go into the halftime break, the Flight have a 9-point lead. When we return, Alvin will have the second half keys to the game from both coaches on the other side in this Saturday FBA Classic.
Where one girl goes on endless adventures, gives you unbelievable toy unboxings, does insane food challenges, and plays way too much Roblox. It's L's Adventures. Subscribe now. Do it. Why not?
Holy cow, it's Nova Rex, the 80s legends. I want the keto. I want the double Diablo.
Cheddar bacon.
I'll take a double cheeseburger with extra cheese.
To go! Here you go, boys. Hey guys, I play a little guitar myself. How about me joining the band? Show us what you got, man. What's up, dudes? What do you think?
Yeah, man, it's pretty good, but you need more hair.
But the Mooyah burgers were great. Mooyah burgers rock!
Hey, what is up, everyone? My name is Susie, and I'm a full-time partner streamer on Twitch.tv. I've made it my mission to help gamers win in every area of life. So whether it's helping you win in gaming by teaching the latest tips and tricks on whatever games you might be playing, helping you win in fitness through my daily fitness streams, or even just helping you win in your week, we're building genuine community, and we've got a place just for you. So I want to encourage you right now to follow me over at twitch.tv/SusieLive. I stream Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and we hope to see some of you soon.
So a 62-53 game, Alvin, as we come out of the half. I just want to get your takes on what you heard Coach MJ and Coach Fedora say.
So we'll start with Coach MJ. He basically just said he liked how they were playing in the second quarter. Obviously, that's when they went on their huge run led by Jace, Hogan, and Cash. Trey Thompson did a couple of good things. But he really liked how they were more stout off defensively, just doing a great job of funneling Brandon Moss and getting out to the shooters and just doing a great job of being a team. And on the other end, with Coach Fedora, he loved the first quarter. Obviously, they poured it on. Their guys, the shots were falling. They're penetrated. They're kicking. They're doing things like that. However, he didn't like the second quarter because that's when there was more ISO ball. And offensively, like, this is something about basketball all the basketball fans know. When you're playing a game and you don't get any touches, it shows itself on the defensive side of the ball. So you're not as engaged, not as locked in, so you're not going to sell out as much. Whereas on the other end, everyone was touching the ball. So the second quarter for the Flight, that's where we saw that run that they gave up. Their guys weren't as tuned in as they were in the first quarter, because first quarter you saw a ball was moving around the horn, everyone was getting the ball. It was 4 or 5 touches before a shot went up, and it just reversed. So we saw that happen for the Flight in the first quarter, and then it was for the Brevard Bobcats on the second quarter. So now both teams are very excited for what they're going to do in the second half, and this is going to be interesting because Coach Miller wants to play more inside out, getting Jace Hogan involved and just getting Naismith involved as well. He really likes his play, and he thinks he's a high flyer, and we love how he plays as well. So they're going to try to get them more involved. And on the other end, for Coach Fedora, he just really wants to see them do more of the first half, or what they did in the first quarter, just moving the ball around the horn, getting everyone involved, because that's how they play stout defense, and we're going to see more of that.
So one interesting thing I have written down here, both teams with the same amount of turnovers per game. Both teams, the highest scoring teams in the league. Points off of turnovers for both teams, they're averaging in the 20s.
Definitely.
So whoever wins the turnover battle is a good possibility that they're going to win this ball game.
And that's the tail of the tape. And with Brevard, that's their identity. They got 20 steals last game, Jesse. Like, that is not something to just scoff at. McKay had 5 on his own. Jace Hogan brought in 4 of his own. So that is a lot of turnovers just within those two guys, and they thrive off transition points. But you look at Florida Flight, they're cut from the same cloth, same DNA, and Brandon Moss, obviously that's when he is at his best. Grant Gullett does the same, and we're seeing Grant Gullett do a tremendous job on the block. So for both teams, it's just who can take care of the basketball, just like you said, who can take care of the basketball. And I think the advantage is going to come in the transition offense because they do a great job moving the ball around the horn, but who is going to actually be the one to push the issue, force a turnover, get those second chance points. It's just the little things in this game because we know they can score.
We'll get back down here on the floor as both teams are out. Both going with their starting lineups. So for the Bobcats, who get first possession, McKay, Hogan, Clark, Thompson, and Seville wrapping it out down low. And there's Clark with a go to the basket and Moss with the block. And obviously for the Florida Fright, you got Brandon Moss down low alongside Grant Gullett. Caleb Winfrey, Terrell Alfred round that one out on the wings. And Elliot Glegg running the traditional point for the Florida Flight, who are up by 9.
And on that one, that's a great take. He saw a lane, he saw a hole, he took it. However, he didn't account for Brandon Moss. Brandon Moss brought in 4 blocks last game. So we see why. He can elevate, he got long arms, and right there he sends it right back to him. But they get another possession. They have 15 seconds on the shot clock. Let's see what Coach Miller is going to draw up for them and what they have for their inbound play as they try to get some of that sweat off that floor for them.
Florida Flight came into the game tied for first in the FBA at 3-0 with the St. Pete Tide, who we will see tomorrow, and the Brevard Bobcats at third place in the FBA, coming in at 2-1. So the Brevard Bobcats looking for a huge victory over here over number 1 team, and Brevard really building out as one of the expansion teams in the FBA this year. McKay passes out to Thompson, who pump fakes, turns the corner inside on Gullett, and gets that one to fall over the top of the basket. It's out of bounds.
But on that possession, just look at how Florida Flight rotate on defense. You see the ball get moved around the horn, but they're there. They're ready. The cross-court pass doesn't matter. He had an open shot, didn't like it. Pump faked it, drove it down. But when he drove it down, they got a hand on that and then forced the turnover. So that's a great job by Florida Flight, being stout on defense, doing exactly what they wanted coming out of the half.
Gullett and Glegg up top, a 2-3 zone defense. by the Bobcats. Gullett, wide open three, and he makes the big one to start the second half.
That's going to be a coaching adjustment for Coach Miller. You do not want to leave Grant Gullett open. He hasn't played for a while, but his shot is not rusty.
Moss a block down low on Seville, and Glegg getting through traffic. Glegg to Moss, and Moss couldn't pull that one through the net. Other side, McKay all by himself, and he takes it in.
Jace Hogan looking like a quarterback, throwing it to his streaking wide receiver McKay, taking advantage of that fast-paced offense, and that's right there what we're going to see. Transition buckets, who can win that battle? They're only down 10. Let's see what they can do in this third quarter, which is the money quarter.
Winfrey, left side three, good!
And right there, we are seeing a great job from Winfrey. His role offensively has just erupted after last week. And right there, knocking down his second three of the game. Great job giving him a 13-point cushion.
Samil missed that one down low. Moss behind the back pass to Glegg. Glegg going in and fouled, forced out of bounds by Shaq Seville down low.
And one thing I really like about the Florida Flight, they genuinely have fun with it. Brandon Moss behind the back passes. Elliot Glegg throwing it off the backboard. Alfred throws it off the backboard. Grant Gullett just doing what he wants on the post, on the block. Gets it from the ring. He can knock down threes. They just really have fun. Winfrey comes in, and they just welcome him in the starting role, and he just plays well, sinking in that corner, and you're probably going to see him get a look. It's just, they just do a great job offensively. Fun to watch them.
Glegg a pump fake, now takes one. And Thompson pulls down the rebound. Here's Clark, other side. And McKay up top. The tip in by Nesmith. And Dorian Nesmith uses his frame and gets to the rack hard and is able to draw the contact down low when he needs to, but great at finishing. And he's now got his fourth point of the ball game. 68-57 the score. Thompson on the fast break and lays it in.
And that's right there is what they do. They got another steal, turns into a fast break point opportunity, and he scores on that attempt. Great job just really getting involved in this triangle offense.
Alfred executing the triangle offense perfectly and making the three.
That is his fourth three of the game. That's just a complete 180 from last week. Great job by Alfred getting in the gym.
Nesmith down low.
And that is what Coach Miller said he wanted to utilize. He wanted to get Nesmith involved more often because when he's doing great, the team does great. He's their X factor, high leaper, high motor, does a great job hustling, and right there you see him finishing a nice oop.
Gullett down low to the rack, and they will wave that one off. It was on the floor. A 10-point ball game. The Flight leads 71-61 with under 9 minutes left to play in the third.
And that's just a good job by Gullett, just being real strong. You got some strong hands right there, just fighting. And right there he gets the whistle. Good job by Gullett.
Good matchup for the Flight. The next game they play is Winfrey takes a three, and Gullett puts it back.
How many offensive boards are they going to allow him to have? Just not getting a body on him, and right there he makes them pay. Good job by Grant Gullett.
You saw McKay had to let that one go early. He saw Moss coming in. Glegg, a three. Nesmith going the other direction. A bounce pass down low. Clark to Nesmith. And they got scared of Brandon Moss. Look at Moss throwing that one away. Nesmith again, the give up. Thompson puts it through.
That's a very smart play by Naismith. He got blocked on that last one. He got it back, and he knows that Brandon Moss doesn't really jump for up fakes. He waits till the ball's in the air because he has that type of leaping ability. So he really sells it on that one, drops it off to Trey Thompson, and he was able to finish it quickly before he was able to send that back to the rackers. He has 3 blocks already. Great job by taking advantage of numbers on that play.
Winfrey over Clark with 3 seconds and missed the rim. And a shot clock violation.
That was just a rhythm jumper by Winfrey. He knew the shot clock was ticking down, and he was feeling himself, knocked down a couple threes in this game. Just wanted to see how hot he really was right there. He maybe made him cool down just a little bit. And you see him right down on the defensive end, being a leader, telling them to communicate better. To no avail. Jace Hogan just knocks it down right in his eye. Jace Hogan just does it all from the block. He's very well well built in the interior, but then he also builds his game out to that free throw extended jump shot, kind of like a Udonis Haslam for the Heat. And right there you see him knock down that jumper.
Alfred, rhythm three.
Alfred.
Look at Terrell Alfred, 17 points now for the dynamic guard. He was averaging a little bit south of 15 points per game, but now with 17, his team leads by 11. McKay spinning around Moss down low, the give up to Thompson, and Thompson puts it through.
That's a great job defensively. You see Brandon Moss applying pressure on him from the jump, just full court man-to-man. However, that puts him at a disadvantage on the block. Trey Thompson taking advantage of a Mossless base and sends it home. Good job by taking advantage of numbers on that one.
9-point game. Glegg spinning in on Nesmith. Going up strong, and look at this guy. His first game back. Grant Gullett down low with 13.
The former sailfish out of Palm Beach Atlantic University just does it all. You see why they miss him so much. He had 29 points last time out and 9 rebounds, shooting 64% from the field and about 57% from the free throw line. And right there you just see him dominate on the block, getting a nice spin move, great footwork, gets to the basket, knocks it down, and of course he knocked down the and one. Great job by Grant Gullett doing what he does best.
McKay going right, spinning around Glegg, down low. Moss took that one away. Moss, the pass ahead to Alfred, and just a little too strong. Ball wanted to leave the building.
Ball was trying to get out of there. Alfred trying as he might, looking like a hamster on the wheel, just not able to get the lift and get the boosties on to get to that ball. But Alfred is having a tremendous game. He has 5 threes in this game so far. Was struggling last week. You know he took that to heart. Got in the gym, and you love to see how quick of a turnaround he had from week to week. Struggled very hard last week. This week is just dynamic. Very lethal from the three. Great job by Alfred turning it on.
McKay going right through traffic.
And there was really no beef in the interior right there, and McKay take advantage of that. Great job by him. He knows how to move, and just a real slithery guard gets to the lane and finishes with no one around.
Winfrey up top. Glegg turned that one over. Hogan to Dean, and Dean keeps his feet in the air as he makes the shot.
Love how that defensive possession was initiated by Dean, just rushing Elliott on that, forcing him to make a jump pass, which then turns into a turnover, and he was able to finish on the other end.
Winfrey to Hogan down low. Hogan, the pass ahead to Thompson, and Thompson throwing it up and making the shot. He's got 11.
And right now you see the Bobcats just swing the momentum in their way. They're getting everything they want. And what did we talk about? We talked about fast break points. And right now you see them utilizing fast break points very well.
Look at that screen from Waldo. And Alfred couldn't get that one to fall.
You know what would be lethal, Jesse? Waldo on a screen and Jerry coming off of it.
Oh, no. Our producer, who is probably the best basketball player I've ever seen, Nesmith on the backside, and we're going to bring in our commissioner. He looks like he's got something to say.
That's a great play by Thompson there to run the floor. It's kind of a lost art. No, shouldn't be. He's got somebody running the floor to the middle of the floor. You got fast break. Next time down, he occupied a guy by running in the middle. They got the kick out three. And the Bobcats are really taking advantage right now of Moss not being in there with the interior D since he subbed out. And we got this down to a 4-point game.
79-75 the score, under 4.5 minutes left to play in the third. The pass down low, and the flight playing a little sloppy here. Hogan, left side, as it goes out of bounds off the hands of the flight.
And just to go off the commissioner's point, that is, you see Thompson with a real heads-up play running down the middle, and literally on the next play, that's what freed up that Naismith three, was because he did that exact same action, but when he did that, the guy who was leaking to chase him, because on every break you have someone who leaks to chase to slow down, stop the bleeding is what it's called, and he occupied that. So that's a very heads-up play, and right there we see him get another and one. He's doing it all for them offensively. He's been their guy. He's been their force offensively, along with Jace. It's been a double-headed monster, and then you have Naismith coming in. This Brevard team is very dangerous, and Moss has to come back in, as we just saw.
Just kind of asleep there. Asleep there on an inbounds play. Brandon needed to be Moss needed to be under the basket to stop that, and they got a quick pass and a layup off the inbounds. A 3-point play now, so.
And that's very interesting because now it's a 1-point game, so that it's a 2-point because he missed it. But it's very interesting because now everything is even more exaggerated. Turnovers, fast break points, offensive boards. It makes everything more exaggerated. And this is the third quarter. This is the money quarter. You have to win this quarter.
Brevard's making a great run here. The Flight need to settle themselves down, get back on defense a little bit more, get back to their game of Gollett and Moss attacking the basket and kick out to those open threes. But when things happen as the game goes along, get a little bit fatigued, and maybe you're not getting back as quick. And
it's very interesting because they like to utilize that, but I think Brevard they were able to adjust, and now you see them beef up their interior.
Gullett from the left elbow. That's the shot. The Flight needed to fall. Now Grant Gullett with 16 points. A pass to the right side. Nesmith, a take under the basket, going up with a reverse, and fouled. Interesting choice by Brevard here, guys, as Brevard has kind of gone small. Shaq Seville out of the ball game. Jace Hogan, their leading scorer, out of the ball game. And yet these secondary guys still have something to prove here in the game.
So that's definitely interesting because I feel like with this lineup, it gives them the advantage in the fast break opportunity. And early on in this third quarter, that's what was working. They were able to get just different plays where there was Dean rushing the Gullett and forcing a turnover, and then they were able to streak out. So that was interesting move. What do you think about that move?
No, it's great. Like I said, they got Hogan a breather, but he's coming back in, and they're able to sustain that. And then they get Thompson out, and they got Seville resting, so their big guys can get a little bit of rest. And yeah, if these guys can push it and run like they're doing.
Trey Thompson sitting down. Nesmith from the line makes the second one.
And that's a good job by Naismith. He's knocking about half of his shots. But the good thing about this game is we're seeing a little chess action from Coach Fedora and Coach Miller, just doing a great job of mixing and matching up personnel.
Glegg from the left elbow can't get that one to fall. Travell Dickerson tried to save that one, and the Bobcats pull that one in.
Great hustle on that possession.
Sherrod Dean right side. That's good shooter's touch there.
They're knocking at that door. It's only a 1-point game, and it's the third quarter, money quarter.
Good transition basketball again by the Bobcats.
81-80 with 3 minutes left to play. 4 team fouls on the Bobcats, so be aware of that. Gullett can go right at Hogan here. Gullett fighting under the basket, and he didn't get that shot to fall, so here's Thompson. Thompson going into reverse, blocked down low by Moss, and that's how the Bobcats will take the lead on a goaltending call.
Definitely the right call. Just the ball was coming down, and you hate to see it, but from our angle, that looked like the correct call. But once again, that was a great job by Jace Hogan on the lethal Grant Gullett in the block, forcing a tough shot, and he was able to steal.
The steal by McKay as he runs out of bounds. And so the Bobcats now have the lead in the game by 1. Under 3 minutes left to play. From the left side, the inbound from Alfred. And Nesmith fighting hard for that one as it's tapped out of bounds. Look at this Bobcats defense.
That's what they bring to the table. Coming into this game, they brought in 20 steals. I have to keep re-emphasizing that because that's what you're seeing right now. That effort is bred into the fabric of their jerseys and their DNA. They do a great job of playing stout defense.
And just look at the difference in the energy between the two teams.
Yeah.
The Bobcats have got this run. Their guys on the bench are into it. The guys on the floor are into it. The Flyers are kind of just sitting back and need to get some life, or they may find themselves on the back end of this. Well, they are right now, down 1.
Definitely.
Flight down 1, Brandon Moss from the line.
First Bobcat lead of the game. Right?
Yeah, first Bobcat lead of the game. Moss from the line. Misses that one front iron. Brandon Moss coming into tonight's game shooting 55% from the free throw line. 5 team fouls on the Bobcats, so the Flight are shooting free throws throughout the rest of the quarter.
He came up empty on that trip, and free throws are going to be imperative in this game because it's such a tick-for-tat game.
Nesmith down low. And it's a three-point game.
Just look at the bench erupt. Right now, the Bobcats are pouring it on, and you feel them. You feel the energy, and look at how it's transitioning onto the court. Look at Jace Hogan pressuring Grant Gullett, and right now, the Flight are reeling.
Gullett down low, fouled, and he will go to the line and shoot two. That would have been a shooting foul regardless, but, you know, being in the bonus, no matter what the whistle was, he was going to the line.
And on that one, I really like how Grant Gullett, he's taking the energy of the Bobcats and just trying to find a way to get something going. Takes it to the rack, and he was trying to punish the rim.
Commissioner, what are the Flight doing wrong here?
Well, Brendan Moss needs to get down there around the goal, too, and attack the basket. They can't stop him and goal it. You know, down here around the basket with plays to the rim, and that'll open up the outside. You know, then these guys are running hard. They're perimeter guys. They're with a defensive collapse, and they kick it out and hit some of those open shots again.
Gullett splits the free throws. It's a 2-point ball game, and they need their big guys to make the free throws.
Yeah, and they just got to match the energy of the Bobcats.
Nesmith down low, up with the right hand. He's now got 12 points, 86-82 ball game. As the clock ticks down, under 2 minutes left to play in the third. Moss a long three. That one rims out. Gullett fighting for the rebound, and Byron Thompson Jr. saves that one from going out of bounds. Dickerson for the Flight, left side up with the left hand, and Jace Hogan pulls down the rebound. McKay open space and will throw it up, and couldn't get laid in by Nesmith down low. Now a 3-on-2 in transition. Gullett right side. Dickerson steps back on the three. No good. Flight not getting shots to fall.
There is a lid on the basket for the Flight, but I think they have to go back to what they do best, just like the commissioner said. They have to get back to attacking the basket, and then from that, kicking it, playing it more of an inside-out basketball, how they did reminiscent of the first quarter.
Terrell Alfred, he wanted to pass that one and ended up taking the shot.
They need Moss down there into the goal right now. There's a play right there. He's standing out top of the three-point line, and teammate shoots. He's got his 6'1" guard in there, offensive rebound. He could be in there grabbing that ball, putting it back. You know, you got an advantage in basketball when you got size or strength, and you got to use your advantages, you know. And
under 1 minute left to play in the third. 86-82 the score. As we take a timeout here, real quick, as we get set for more FBA basketball.
World where one girl goes on endless adventures, gives you unbelievable toy unboxings, does insane food challenges, and plays way too much Roblox. It's Elle's Adventures. Subscribe now. Do it. Why not?
And in this third quarter, we just saw the pendulum swing from the Flight's favor towards the Bobcats. And on that swing, we see the Bobcats really just double down on defense and just take advantage of their mismatches, and that's in the fast break. And they've done a good job of making sure that the Flight can't take advantage of theirs.
Hendricks fouled down low. Commissioner, you got something.
I don't get it. We got Brandon Moss standing out 17 feet from the line. And the guys in there, number 10 is, who's that? Hendricks. Getting an offensive rebound.
Yeah, small guy. not the biggest guy on the floor.
Definitely.
Yeah, Golden and Moss need to control the boards and control the basket.
Hogan up top, guarded by Moss. Left side, McKay, cross court. Thompson Jr., right side. And a fight for the rebound, won by Glegg. Here's Elliott, other side, steps back for three. And a big rebound there by Sherrod Dean. And now here come the Bobcats slowing things down. Shot clock is off. 16 seconds on the game clock. Thompson Jr. up top. The flight in a zone, 2-3 defense here. 8 seconds left to go. Hogan, left side, in on Gullett. Tries to throw it up, and he makes it from the left block. Wow. Clock expiring, full court shot, and that one sails out of bounds. A poor third quarter for the Florida Flight, gentlemen.
Yeah, a great end of the quarter. Offensive play there by the Bobcats to get the ball down deep to Hogan and let him use his size and strength to take it out to 6 at quarter end.
A 6-point game, 88-82. Will the Flight make a comeback? We'll find out in our last quarter of action here in the FBA Saturday night special game of the week.
World where one girl goes on endless adventures, gives you unbelievable toy unboxings, does insane food challenges, and plays way too much Roblox. It's Elle's Adventures. Subscribe now. Do it. Why not?
Holy cow, it's Nova Rex, the 80s legends.
I want the keto.
I want the double Diablo.
Cheddar bacon.
I'll take a double cheeseburger with extra cheese.
To go!
Here you go, boy. Hey guys, I play a little guitar myself. How about me joining the band? Show us what you got, man. What's up, dudes? What do you think?
Yeah, man, it's pretty good, but you need more hair.
But the Mooyah burgers were great. Mooyah burgers rock!
Back here for the Florida Flight and the Brevard Bobcats. This is the matchup we've wanted to see all year, the two highest scoring teams with the two highest scoring players in the league. And we knew it was going to come down to offense, but what we didn't account for was the Brevard Bobcat defense sort of shallowing Brandon Moss a little bit more. Moss down low, and a foul. But Moss, with only 16 points so far, well away from his average of 45.7 points per game. Jace Hogan on the other side with 29 points already.
Well, this is definitely interesting because coming off of a 57-point game, you're not expecting him to drop that much, but you still want him to get close, like drop a 30 ball or something, what we're accustomed to seeing. But that's just a testament to how good Brevard has been on their defensive end right there. But the Flight have they did a great job inbounding it and just letting him get in transition, which is what he thrives in. But then Brevard was right there. They hacked him on that one, which was good because he split the free throws. And that's what you need to do with a guy like Moss. Now, how are they going to get him to his spot and get him where he's comfortable? That's what we need to stay tuned and find out.
So Moss needing to make some free throws. 88-82 still the score. McKay from way outside, and Hogan the rebound. Hogan, few dribbles, puts it up, and McKay pulls that one down. Out to Hendricks, who will line up a three. That one falls out of bounds. It's Flight ball going the other direction.
Even though on that possession, the shot didn't fall, but look how fired up Brevard is. Right now, they're hustling all over the court, whereas on the other end, you're seeing the Flight, they're jogging a little bit. They're not as fired up as the Brevard is, and it seems like they want it more. Let's see if that holds true, if that's just an opinion or if that's actual fact.
Trey Thompson frustrated on the call. Already 2 team fouls, gentlemen, on the Brevard Bobcats. Still 11 minutes and 15 seconds left to play in the fourth. So a lot of time left on the clock. And if you're the Brevard Bobcats, you cannot get into foul trouble early. While Brandon Moss and Grant Gullett might not have been knocking down their free throws as much as they normally would. I mean, Elliot Glegg, sharp shooter from the free throw line, hitting 100% of his free throws this season. Dickerson on the outside, stepped out.
Jesse, that's the second time that's happened to Dickerson. He gets very excited when he's able to get that up fake because he has a good up fake, good fundamentals, good handle, and he likes to get to that mid-range jump shot. But he stepped out again. It happened on one end, happened on the other. Let's see if he can clean that up.
Hendricks a no-go on the three. McKay, right side. And that one just rims out. Looking like a double rim almost there.
Right, living and dying by that three ball. But on that possession, they died.
Moss putting it over his head and putting it through.
Maybe that's going to get them going. Moss getting to the basket, filling that rim again. Let's see if he gets that hunger and thirst for the basket again.
Hogan, left side, hits the three. Jace Hogan coming up big.
Big shot.
He's now got 31.
Huge shot by Hogan, and he's shooting about 18% from the three, but he hits it when it counts. Great job getting them an extension on that lead.
And Brandon gets that one to fall through. Lucky shooter's touch there. And he's now got 21. It's a 4-point game. McKay, left side. Hogan, left block. Bounce pass. Thompson, the reverse, and missed everything. Moss the other direction. Under 10 minutes left to play. Alfred surveying.
They have numbers.
Dickerson. Gullett. Good job down low, going strong. And Thompson, a big rebound. Look at that. And Gullett in some pain. He's slow to get up. A shot missed on the other side. And Gullett looking to be okay, shaking it off under the basket. Jace Hogan. The turnaround jumper is good. Jace Hogan lighting it up.
And right there on that possession, they had numbers, and you just see them attack very aggressively, and they moved the ball on the block and did a great job getting the shot by Jace Hogan.
Moss is short on the three. Winfrey checking into the game for Dickerson, and Coach King going back with his starting lineup early. And it seems like not much movement by the Florida Flight. They're trailing by 6. And this is one of their largest deficits this game going into a break, gentlemen. And we've seen better from them, 100%. 93-87 the score. A little bit over 9 minutes left to play in the fourth.
At Envy Labs, we build web applications that start with an idea. They move through strategy and need an outside eye ahead of wireframes and technical specifications. There's design and layout and functionality, but there's also performance, things like accessibility and data visualization. It all comes together for what ultimately is a successful launch. Over the past decade, Envy Labs has built platforms that pair things like data in sports or environmental science. We've built technical training platforms around data science and around network administration, and we've bootstrapped and sold our own product. We are a temporary CTO and an outside specialist in strategy, design, and development. It takes a lot to go from idea to launched web application, but it's all right there in our name. Reach out to hello@envylabs.com and let's take a look at your idea together.
And on that last timeout, you see the Flight just reeling. They're not able to figure out this Brevard team, and this is actually very uncharted territory for them. This is the first time they're down in the fourth quarter, and this is the first time they've actually lost a third quarter. So Brevard is doing a great job pushing the issue, and as you see McKay slashing and Thompson dashing, but Hendrick is the one to put it home. Great job on that possession. Everyone touching the ball, and you see the excitement on the bench. Coach Miller's up. They're chancing on the side. How are the Flight going to respond in this fourth quarter?
95-87 to score. Down low. Gullett is fouled. And we'll go to the line and shoot.
Can't give up those offensive rebounds when you're trying to battle back, but a good counter here by the Flight with getting the ball into Gullett, and he's going to the free throw line to maybe cut it to 5.
And that's what Grant Gullett does. That's why you miss him so much. Look at his size. He does a great job. He can live on that block, and he lived from there, doing a great job. And he also knocks down his free throws, as you see just now. Great job by Grant Gullett on that possession.
Gullett shooting 57% from the free throw stripe. A 5-point game. The Bobcats are still up. Thompson, left side, up with the left hand, and he gets that one to fall. Trey Thompson now with 15 points out of the University of Maine Machias. His team is up by 7, 8.5 minutes left to play in the fourth. Winfrey, a move inside. Glegg over to the right, and now Alfred back up top to Glegg, surveying, guarded by McKay. Glegg, couple dribbles to the right from the free throw stripe, gets under and makes the shot. Elliot Glegg coming up big.
Fighting blows right now.
5-point game. Under 8 minutes left to play. Thompson Jr., left side.
And on that last possession with Trey Thompson getting the bucket that he wanted, it's a great job by attacking the frame of Brandon Moss and allowing him to have some room to get that shot off.
Thompson blocked, and a shot clock violation by the Brevard Bobcats. It's a big move. 97-92 the score, 7:40 left to go. Flight coming up big there on defense. That's the stop they needed.
And just going back to Greg's point, Flight just able to use that possession, and they got a little excitement. They quieted the Brevard Bobcats for just a second. Let's see if they could use that and get a point on the offensive end. This is a very tight-knitted game.
Glegg just short on the 3. The turnover. Thompson, other side on Winfrey. Up with the right hand, and he is fouled on the floor.
You love to see that from Trey Thompson, just shrugging off the defenders. You see him attack the body of Brandon Moss. You see him attack the body of Elliot Glegg. You see him attacking the body more and more as his game progresses on. He's a very smart player, and you're going to see him utilize that IQ more and more. He has Brandon Moss on him, and I think he likes that matchup.
Hendricks to inbound from the far side. Thompson up top. Back to McKay, and McKay getting one of his first starts of the season, dribbling in and fouled again. So the Flight pick up 2 quick fouls there, and now 2 team fouls for them, 3 on the Brevard Bobcats, who lead by 5. Hendricks to inbound again, gets to Thompson. Now McKay up top, guarded by Alfred. Man-to-man defense by the Flight. McKay splitting the lane. A nice shot down low. Lucius McKay getting to the rack. Now has 11 points and a 7-point lead for the Brevard Bobcats.
Don't you just love that basketball? Bringing it up and under on the prolific Brandon Moss. Great job by McKay.
Moss for 3, no good.
Minnesota Pats with the English on that ball there.
A lot of English on that one.
McKay behind the back to Thompson, and Thompson left side. McKay wanted to line up that 3 there, but good defense by Moss in the corner. Hogan a few dribbles in, throws it over to the left, cut off by Alfred. Alfred is gonna push. Moss is gonna give it to Gullett, and Gullett is gonna jam it home. Grant Gullett with the big throwdown, and his team trails by 5.
Just love that offensive possession, but what happened right there? A turnover, and everyone touched the ball. Brandon Moss being very unselfish, throwing it to his main man, Grant Gullett. Welcome back, buddy. Throwing it down.
Alfred, right wing 3. Terrell Alfred with a little ice in his veins. His team trails by 2 with under 6 minutes left to play, and the Brevard Bobcats need a timeout. We'll be right back, but the Florida Flight on a run.
Oh yeah, I got something.
Hey, what is up, everyone? My name is Susie, and I'm a full-time partner and streamer on Twitch.tv. I've made it my mission to help gamers win in every area of life. So whether it's helping you win in gaming by teaching the latest tips and tricks on whatever games you might be playing, helping you win in fitness through my daily fitness streams, or even just helping you win in your week, we're building genuine community, and we've got a place just for you. So I want to encourage you right now to follow me over at twitch.tv/SusieLive. I stream Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and we hope to see some of you soon.
And on that last possession, we see Terrell Alfred just do what he's been doing all game today. That's his 6'3", and it came at the most crucial point. He is a dynamic shooter for them. What you saw last week doesn't matter because what he puts on the floor is greatness right there, making a big shot, bringing them within 2 within 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and you're just going to look to see more of that right now. The Flight are punching back. They got a little down, but they're coming back. Grant Gullett on that last possession, on the possession before that, getting a nice dunk. 3 guys touch the ball on that last transition, and now we're going to see what Brevard has to offer because they're not going away at all. They have a prolific scorer in Jace Hogan. They have some guys doing their thing. Trey Thompson is having himself a career day. Stay tuned and watch great basketball.
A 2-point ball game, under 6 minutes left to play in the fourth. So now a little more life from the Florida Flight. Hogan, the jab step into the lane, and it's taken away by Moss and Gullett. Moss, other side. Alfred, another 3. And an offensive foul. Oh my. And look at Coach King sliding to try to tell the officials what the foul call would have been.
But that's just a great job by the Bobcats understanding what they need to do. They got back and they created a horn around the basket, kind of like what they do versus Giannis and drawing that charge.
Is that a flop on Coach King?
That's a flop on Coach King.
Flopping violation for Coach. Impressive, though. He didn't lose the fedora.
Yeah, how did that fedora stay on?
There may be a little super glue or hair clips or something. I don't know.
This is the first time he sweat. The sweat sticking to the fedora.
There we go.
So are they wiping up the spot on the ground where Coach King slid, or was it the player on the floor?
Player on the floor.
Okay.
Yeah, that was tough. A third turnover in a row that the Flight had created, but then they come back on that trip and get the charge on Moss. So pretty turnovers there. But,
and that was a good, I think that's a really just heads-up play by the Brevard Bobcats, getting back, understanding where Moss is the most lethal, and that's in transition right there. You see him, he did it last possession, gets a good dunk, and now they know they're running their tail off to get on that back end. They get in front of him because they know he has his sights set on the rim, and did they act a little bit? Maybe. But it doesn't matter because they got the call and they have the lead with the ball. And every basketball fan knows when you have the ball and the lead, you're in good hands. All they need to do is just get a good possession, put some points up, and just continue doing what they've been doing since really the second quarter. They've been pouring it on since then, and they haven't looked back.
2-point game, under 6 minutes left to play. And the officials taking a good amount of time to wipe up that sweat spot on the floor. I do want to recognize our elite officials from Right Call Officials, who are owned and operated locally by Mike Rivera. He offers the best quality officials in the area and can cover your most basic officiating needs in the Orlando and Central Florida area. Here are the best points of contact to reach him. You can get him at Right Call Official Inc. on Instagram or by email at rightcallofficials34@gmail.com. Brandon Moss, the one-handed sledgehammer down low. When you need officials, make the right call, not the wrong, for your officiating needs. And hey, tell them Jesse sent you. And wow, we just saw a man fly, and we are all tied up here, and we have an official call.
So on that one, we have a delay of game because the crowd just erupted. Brandon Moss catching an alley-oop in traffic, throwing it down emphatically. Great job.
McKay for the 2-point lead.
Tit for tat game. Anything you could do, I could do better. We're seeing a great game while we're coming down the stretch of this one.
Glegg will hit a 3. No. But Gullett the rebound. Look at Gullett getting big down low.
He hits the gym every day and twice on Sundays. Look at his arm right there, and look how he grabbed that board, secured it with his sure hands, and got the putback.
McKay off on the 3. And Gullett the rebound. He'll give it over to Moss. 4.5 minutes left to play, gentlemen. We're all tied up here. This is what we were talking about. The Sunday FBA game of the week. Excuse me, it's a Saturday. It's a day that ends in Y. 101 to 101 with under 4.5 minutes left to play.
And on that one, even right there, you see how Brevard is going to play Brandon Moss, and that's going to be reminiscent of how the team's going to play him from now on. You see them funneling him to the block, but on the block we have a little guy. Instead of a big guy, you have a little guy coming over just ready to draw the charge. Even though he passed out of it, the ball was in his hand. That is going to be something we're going to have to pay attention to because it happened last time on a fast break. Now they're utilizing that. They saw it worked, and they're utilizing that on their set possession. So let's see how Brandon Moss could figure that out.
What day is it, Jerry? You know?
A day that ends in Y.
Yeah, exactly.
That was beautiful. That was art. Can I coin that?
If you would like. Alfred up top for the flight. To the right wing to Brandon Moss, guarded by Trey Thompson, who will line up a three. And Brandon Moss has not been able to hit a lot of those today. Still, we're all tied up 101 to 101. Clark, a pump fake. Up top to Thompson Jr. And here comes the man defense by the flight. Thompson trying to go in on Moss. Good defense here by Moss. He'll give it out to Thompson Jr. Now Clark dribbling in over to Thompson. And Thompson with the reverse. And he flicked it in. Thompson
giving him a little shimmy on that one. Thompson wanted the ball early on that possession. He comes, he gets it, drives back, pushes him back, gives it away, and gets it right back and flips it in. Trey Thompson is having himself a game right now.
Moss down low to Thompson. Moss fouled and didn't make the shot. 103 to 101. And Moss with a chance to tie. Yeah.
He's been struggling at the line, so big free throws here.
2 huge free throws for Moss and the Florida Flight. And the Flight actually shooting better from the free throw line this season. And Moss hits the first one. Flight shooting 67% from the free throw line compared to the Bobcats 59.5%. So 8% difference. And Moss
big free throws.
Sinks both of them. He's now at 25, and we're back tied up at 103. 3.5 minutes left to play. Keep in mind, 4 team fouls on the Brevard Bobcats, so the Flight looking to be a little aggressive here on offense. McKay up with the flick. Moss pulls that one down. Moss in transition, throwing full speed to the left. Winfrey up top, almost taken away by Hogan. Alfred now on the mismatch into Gullett. Gullett finds his way down low and makes the shot.
Wow, Gullett, when he gets on that block, his footwork is just impeccable. You see him very patient. He's seen it all before. That's why the league wants him. And he gets that bucket, huge points to get him up in his game.
Hogan gets that one to fall down.
The stars are shining in this game.
Beautiful runner by Hogan.
We're all tied up again. Glegg out beyond the arc. Another rebound. Glegg will throw it into the right block. Gullett on Hogan. This is a good matchup. 1v1. Hogan spinning. And a 3 in the key.
And you really like that matchup on the block with Gullett and Hogan. Beef on beef, big on big, skill on skill. Right now, they're trying to figure out what that last call was.
3-second call or a foul?
It seemed like
I saw a 3 signaled by Mike Rivera, number 34.
One called a foul.
Yeah.
Before the 3-second call, they're going to sort it out.
Yeah.
I think they're looking at it at the FPA replay center in Secaucus right now, but the guy's asleep up there.
Let's see from the crew chief, Curtis Bowen.
We got a defensive 3 seconds, so we're going to shoot one on the tech, and then I'll be spray ball outside.
So a technical called on the floor.
Defensive 3 seconds.
Yeah. And Glegg makes the free throw. Elliot Glegg still perfect from the free throw line this season. And his team's back up by 1.
And that's huge because you have a guy who's been perfect from the free throw line, and he shoots about 4 or 5 free throws a game. So he actually is, that is a real bona fide 100%. Big 1-0-0. And that is huge in a situation like this. It is a very tit-for-tat game, and you know that you have a guy who's sure, he's confident, and he's one of your star players.
Moss will line it up from up top, and Moss hits the long 2. Lead back up to 3 for the Flight. And a foul down low.
We're going to count the basket on that one.
That'd be interesting to see.
Close to being a goaltend.
.109-105. We'll see if they will count it.
Darius Clark, he shoots about 60% from the free throw line, but a fun fact about him, he's actually a business owner. So he owns his own business, and one thing about him, he goes for the Bulls. So you know he's seen Michael Jordan make big plays in these moments, and just trying to see if he can emulate that.
Still a 108-105 ball game. Darius Clark from the line doing great off of transition and likes to rotate off of catch and shoots. But great going towards the basket as well and drawing fouls nonetheless.
Right there you saw him take advantage of that. He's very quick off the dribble, and he utilized that quickness, got to the rim, but wasn't able to finish it because Brandon Moss had something to say about that. Poured his 2 cents in, and he wasn't able to knock that first one down. And that's going to be huge. You still have a lot of basketball left, 2:25 left on the clock. You're only down 3, but these are the shots that you want to make because they're free, there's no one guarding you, and you have all the time to take them.
Clark hits the second one, him now with 5 points. It's a 2-point ball game again, 108-106, flight up by 2. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter. Brandon Moss, a pass to the right side, Alfred. Glegg, the pump fake. Moss cutting towards the basket, and Moss going in strong.
Nice cut to the basket by Moss.
110-106 with 2 minutes left to play. Clark down low, the give off, and a turnover. Alfred on the fast break, near side. Glegg for 3. That one bounces around. Moss trying to tip that one through. Sherrod Dean, the full court pass ahead to Clark. Clark fouled by Caleb Winfrey.
And right now we're seeing the Florida Flight just start to pour it on in late in this fourth quarter. You're seeing Brandon Moss do what he does. He's getting to the rim. You're seeing Elliot Glegg just put up shots, and even though they're not falling, it gives them second chance opportunities, gets guys in their position, and gets guys really involved. The ball's moving, and they're putting it in the basket. So we're seeing a lot of transition, and Brevard hasn't been able to convert.
Nice break for the Bobcats on that last possession, though. Clegg came down and took a 3 early in the shot clock when they had a 4-point lead, and now the Bobcats are at the line after that miss.
Clark drilling the first free throw.
He's going to need both of those because 1:44 left on the shot clock, or on the game clock. You want this to be a one-possession game. It's a one-possession game now, but you want to be able to take your time and get a layup or get something easy to the rim and not have to rely on a beyond-the-arc shot.
So Clark hitting the second one. He's now got 7 points. And
at least a shot lower in the clock.
Absolutely.
And that goes from a potential 7-point game to a 2-point game with one possession.
Moss dribbling right side down low, shot out of bounds. And not enough can be said about the defense of Sherrod Dean. Great defensive presence, handsy, and he can play spot up ball on the D.
Sherrod Dean just does it. He knows how he could play 1 through 4 really because he has height. You see him right now guarding Moss. He's guarded Gullett. He's guarded everyone. He gets on the perimeter sometimes on those screens, and he does a great job. He's the unsung hero for them for sure.
Gullett down low, making some room, and a travel.
Shuffled his feet.
Got excited. He felt that contact, wanted to bump with him down low. Forgot to put the ball on the ground first. Good catch by the refs.
A 2-point game. Flight up. Clark down low, lost his handle. And yeah, from this angle, he just lost control of the ball.
Thought it went off Winfrey. I think that's what the refs saw.
Oh, okay.
Looked like it maybe deflected a little bit.
But on that possession, you would have liked to see the ball get moved around. That's what's been working for Brevard, moving the rock, everyone getting touches, and that's what Jace Hogan's saying is get everyone involved. Make sure everyone's touching the rock a little bit.
Clark to the left side, Hogan. Hogan has that one tapped away. Gullett throwing it ahead to Moss, and here's Moss going full speed. He's so good in these situations. His team up by 4, 112-108. Brandon Moss coming alive in the fourth quarter. Under 1 minute left to play. Sherrod Dean, the fadeaway 3. and Jace Hogan brings it back within a 2-point game.
This is huge. Defense turning into offense for the Flight, and this goes back to our main points, who can take care of the basketball right now. This is crucial situations. You cannot allow yourselves to lose control of the basketball. You have to treat it like a precious baby that it is. Let's see who can do that.
Flight by 2. 15 seconds on the shot clock for Glegg. Throws it left. That one's tapped away. Another Sherrod Dean steal, and he is fouled. Unbelievable. Sherrod Dean coming up big on the defensive side.
We're having a lot of excitement coming down the end of this game. Sherrod Dean has just been doing it all defensively, and that's what we're seeing. Brevard Bobcats, they're very stout defensively, and right now Sherrod Dean is showing you that he has a lot of heart, and there's a lot left in this game, and he still wants to fight. Great job by giving them a possession.
33 seconds on the game clock. Hogan a pump fake. Now he'll go right and switch back up, going left, favoring his dominant hand. The bounce pass down low. Thompson blocked by Gullett, and he sends it out of bounds. 7 seconds on the shot clock and 23 on the game clock.
Gentlemen, that was a great defensive possession by Grant Gullett, shuffling his feet, cutting Hogan off, and was able to just recover on that, and then still got the block. Great job by Gullett.
Hogan creating some room. An offensive foul on Jace Hogan. Gullett hitting the deck.
That's why you love him.
A good call. Gullett had great position. Hogan just leaned into him a little too much with that shoulder.
Great job by Gullett, because it's this whole game they've been battling. They've been very physical on that one. Great job of just being a little more animated to let the ref know that he's bumping me. He dug his shoulder in, just like Greg said. Great job by Gullett, just stealing a possession. That was art from Gullett, from just shuffling his feet on the perimeter, getting the block, and then right after getting the block, getting a charge. Just doing it all. This is why you miss him. This is why he's co-MVP. This is why guys want him to pull him away from this league and get him to the NBA. He does a great job, and he does it night in, night out.
This has been like a great boxing match in this fourth quarter, with the fighters trading blows and nobody getting the advantage. And who's just going to come out the end here, the final 21 seconds.
This is exactly what you get when you tune into FBA. No clear-cut winner in these games. You just see great basketball on both ends, and you see from top to bottom great coaching. They're able to recover and just make minor adjustments, get a lead, but they never really out of the game. And then you see the players just play aggressively. They're hungry for the wins. They play their hearts out, and they have very sound footwork, and the fundamentals are there as well.
Neither team in the bonus yet? One more foul?
No.
The bonus?
Still 4 personal fouls per team. Or 14 fouls.
So the Flight can use some clock here. Bobcats got to be smart. Going to have to take a foul if they start to hold the ball and spread it out. May have to put them on the line, and if they're going to put them on the line, they want to put them there with enough time that they can come down, and it could be a 2-possession game if they have to follow the Flight and the Flight make their free throws.
Flight looking to stay undefeated this season. They're 3-0 right now, looking to go 4-0. The Brevard Bobcats are 2-1. If they beat the Flight here, they move into sole possession of second place. And we will see the outcome of tomorrow's game, featuring the only other undefeated team, the St. Pete Tide, who come into that game at 3-0, versus the Pride, who are 0-4 in our Sunday matinee starting at 3 p.m. tomorrow.
We'll see the defeated versus the undefeated.
So here come the Flight, and a foul. 19 seconds left to go, and Coach King didn't like whatever happened there.
The fedora is still on sturdy. What do you think he puts on that?
I think there's some steam coming out of the fedora, though. You know, he pokes holes in it just to make sure there's excess air that can go in and out.
Can't let it get too hot, huh?
Aerodynamic fedoras.
Look at him dancing.
That's a business model.
Kind of like the bag of green beans in the microwave. Gotta poke some holes in it so it doesn't pop. But,
gotta ventilate it.
I think Mark King's been wearing that fedora for so long. I think he's got a groove there that it just holds into the groove in his scalp.
I can't wait to see him take that off, and you just see the sweat line going all the way around it. It's completely drenched. Winfrey from the line in a 2-point game. And he sinks the first one.
That's a huge free throw for them, making it a very difficult shot for them, because now they know they have to get a perimeter shot. or they're going to have to, it's going to force them to do more fouling later on.
This one will be a 2-possession game.
Winfrey hits the second one. And Winfrey, so good from the line this season, shooting 83%. 114 to 110 as the crowd gets loud. McKay a three. Off to the left side. Clark down low. And Clark makes the shot. 10.8 seconds left to go. 114 to 112. And Elliot Glegg is fouled.
That's a huge possession right there. Shoots the three, able to get offensive possession, get another shot so you could get the layup. But that's everything that you want for Brevard. You're able to get the shot off. It doesn't fall. That's what you really wanted. But then you still get the 2 points. But unfortunately, you have to foul Elliot Glegg, which is 100% from the free throw line. Can he make them in the clutch? Stay tuned to find out.
Elliot Glegg hitting 100% of his free throws this season. And he stays true to that number there. Now with 17 points, 115 to 112, 10 seconds left to go in the game. Glegg, perfect from the free throw line, and he's not the guy you want to foul if you're the Bobcats now. That's exactly what you've learned. So a timeout taken on the floor. Gentlemen, what do the Bobcats do here, Commissioner? We'll start with you.
Well, they need 2 buckets, so come down, take it to the hole right now, get a quick one. Get a quick one, and then they've got to, overplay the inbound, try to help to get a steal. If not, foul right away and hope they miss one or two of them.
Alvin?
We can't waste a lot of time.
Yeah, just to piggyback off the commissioner, Greg Kite, you just kind of have to do just what he said, but then you need a little divine intervention because they're only going to get it to Elliot Glegg, so you're really going to have to deny Elliot Glegg once you do make that. You have to take care of offense first, but you have to deny Elliot Glegg, and you have to get someone else to shoot those free throws, preferably someone who hasn't been hitting this game. So and that's where the divine intervention comes. You're going to have to find a way to get that.
Let's see what the Flight do with their defense. Do they keep the ball in front of them, make the Bobcats use some time before they can, not get a quick wide open three or a drive to the basket, and if the Flight can make them use several seconds here, then it's going to be in their favor either way.
Another huge thing is they have to box out because on the last possession they shot the three, and they could have really sealed it by getting a board. They weren't able to. He got a tip to his man, and then he ended up getting a finger roll gave Elliot Glegg the chance to knock down 2 free throws. But if they could really box out and just corral one more rebound, the game is over.
One thing you got to note is that if the Bobcats get a quick basket here, you want to inbound the ball immediately to your best free throw shooters, Caleb Winfrey and Elliot Glegg, 100%.
Definitely. And that's the 2 guys for Bobcats you have to deny with all your heart.
Here's the inbound to Dean, left corner, takes it. And the rebound by Gullett. Gullett's got to find Winfrey, and Gullett is the one that is fouled. It's a 4-point game with 3.8 seconds left to go.
Good rebound by Gullett. Tough three from the corner. It looked like he had a chance, but well covered by the Flight defender.
3.8 seconds left to go in the ball game. 116 to 112 the score as Gullett goes to the line.
Even if he missed these, it seems like it's just too little, too late for the Flight or for the Bobcats as he knocks down that first free throw. Huge free throw for him. And that's one thing I like about the Flight. They knock down their free throws late. So they all got ice in their veins. They did a great job of being heroes.
And Gullett sinks a pair, ice in his veins, and that should do it. 118 to 112. Dean is going to take a three and goes off to the right. And the Florida Flight are going to come away with this nail biter. It took 4 quarters of action for them to get here. 118 to 112, the final score of the game. The post-game show in just a second. But until then, the Florida Flight came away with one of their biggest wins so far of the season.
World where one girl goes on endless adventures, gives you unbelievable toy unboxings, does insane food challenges, and plays way, way too much Roblox. It's L's Adventures. Subscribe now. Do it. Why not?
Holy cow, it's Nova Rex, the 80s legends.
I want the keto.
I want the double Diablo.
Cheddar bacon.
I'll take a double cheeseburger with extra cheese.
To go!
Here you go, boys. Hey guys, I play a little guitar myself. How about me joining the band?
Show us what you got, man.
What's up, dudes? What do you think?
Yeah, man, it's pretty good, but you need more hair.
But the Mooyah burgers were great. Mooyah burgers rock!
Hey, what is up, everyone? My name is Susie, and I'm a full-time partner streamer on Twitch.tv. I've made it my mission to help gamers win in every area of life. So whether it's helping you win in gaming by teaching the latest tips and tricks on whatever games you might be playing, helping you win in fitness through my daily fitness streams, or even just helping you win in your week, we're building genuine community, and we've got a place just for you. So I want to encourage you right now to follow me over at twitch.tv/SusieLive. I stream Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and we hope to see some of you soon.
Welcome back to the post-game show. That was a nail-biter that we had coming down to the wire there. Gentlemen, it's so good to have you with me, Jesse O, Alvin Delvey, and our commissioner, Greg Kite, alongside us for the post-game show here. The Flight were down at one point in the fourth quarter, but battled back strong. Gentlemen, what did you like from the final few minutes of the ball game? And Greg, we'll start with you.
I liked it. It was just a great fourth quarter and great ebb and flow of the game, the energy for what the Bobcats showed in the second half to come back, and then the resiliency that the Flight showed to stick with it and maintain blow for blow and then come out victorious at the end. Awesome game. If I come back, you promise me it'll be just as exciting of a game?
Do I have to, bet my paycheck on that? Because I don't know if
No, that's okay. All FBA basketball is exciting.
Oh, yeah,
but
absolutely.
This was a great one.
That was awesome. Alvin, your takes.
Definitely. I just love how it was just a test match. It was two juggernauts just going at it. We saw the offense from both sides, but we also saw a lot of defense too. And both teams stealing a little bit of each other's playbooks, and we saw the stars shine, and that's what I loved. I love how the stars were able to shine, but then the role players stepped up tremendously. We saw some guys coming back in like Grant Gullett, which was a huge help to push the Florida Flight, in my opinion, to victory. But then on the other end, you had a steady pouring from Jace Hogan and Cass. So I really like how it was a chess match from the coaches, chess match from the players, and great energy on both sides. Florida Flight able to pull it out.
Brandon Moss with 31 points. Jace Hogan on the other side with 37 points. They were the leading scorers in the game for their respective teams. Grant Gullett added on 27. Terrell Alfred with 20 came alive this game, and Elliot Glegg solid as usual with 18. Gentlemen, your players of the game. Alvin, we'll start with you.
My player of the game, to me, it's a toss-up between Alfred and Grant Gullett because we know what Brandon Moss brings to the table, but Alfred stepping up with those 6 huge threes were just huge, lethal. He's a great shooter, but then looking at the game and the overall body of the game, I have to go with Grant Gullett because he just fought feverishly on the offensive boards. He did a great job defending, and on that last possession with Jace Hogan, he was able to slide his feet, get the block in a crucial moment, and then comes back and draws the charge. So he just absolutely stole the momentum from that team right there. And on that possession, we see the Flight able to turn it on, and that's why I think Grant Gullett is the player of the game.
Commissioner, your player of the game.
I agree. I like Grant Gullett. I think his inside play is consistency there really helped them. They got the great things in transition from Brandon and got shooting early first half from the perimeter guys. Hit a couple of key ones down the stretch, but also a big key for them was those free throws. Brandon Moss hitting those 2 free throws down the stretch and then getting Clegg to the line were just huge for the Flight. But I'll go with Gullett as player of the game.
We'll see the Brevard Bobcats next Sunday in our matinee game against the Gainesville Mighty Oaks starting at 3 o'clock p.m. That's next Sunday. And your guys' takes on what the Bobcats have to do better in order to win that game. Commissioner, we'll start with you.
Man, if they could play with that energy, they got up to a slow start tonight.
Yeah.
And if they could play with that energy from the beginning, that kind of put them in a hole. But they've obviously got a lot of fight. They play together, so I think for them, it's just making it a full 48-minute game. They had a little ugly bit of a start in the first quarter, so that's what they'll need.
Alvin.
Definitely. He hit the nail on the head. Just being able to come out and play how they played in the second quarter or the third quarter and on, if they could put that second half and emulate that for their next game in the first half, they'll do a great job, because that effort they poured on in the second quarter, if they were even half of where they were in the first quarter, that would be a completely different game. So just being able to just really, from tip-off, play as aggressively as they have and have all the energy they usually bring will be a huge difference in their next game.
Florida Flight get the Saturday night game of the week next week as well against the St. Pete Tide, who remain undefeated until we see them tomorrow. They're playing the Pride, who are 0-4. The Tide come in at 3-0, so we'll get to see them in our Sunday matinee game. Tune in tomorrow, 2:55 p.m. East Coast time is the official pregame show, with a tip-off coming at 3 p.m. Well, that'll pretty much do it for our broadcast here. For our fantastic producer, an engineer and all-around hype man who was wearing the Hawaiian shirt today, Jerry Pettit. For our Commissioner Greg Kite and Alvin Delvey, I'm Jesse O saying good night. Thanks for tuning in to this Saturday night FBA Game of the Week. The Florida Flight take this one and move to 4-0 on the season.